a different filming backdrop today, only because the sun is too bright in the window and I can't be bothered fixing the light because I have to go to work. And yeah, so that's where we are today. So welcome to a different little corner. We've got some Leaf stuff here and here, some Taylor Swift there. It's not bad. The light seems okay. We're good to go. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I talk about hockey from across the pond. I'm Scottish, in case you can't tell, and I talk about ice hockey a lot because it's the thing that I love most in life. So make sure to like this video as well for more hockey chats and content, and let's get started. So today I thought I would do a little bit of UK ice hockey rundown stuff because most of my audience is North American and is not British. So I mean, if you're British and watching this, hi, hope to see you at playoff final weekend, like at the end of this month. But you're going to know everything that's already in this video, so you're perhaps better watching something else. If you're not from the UK, or if you're interested in UK hockey, please continue watching. So for today's video, I'm going to dive into the pro hockey in the UK. So the Elite Ice Hockey League is our pro league over here. There are other leagues, I can dive into those, but for the sake of today's video, we are not doing that. So I decided that I was going to focus on this because this weekend is actually the start of playoffs in the Elite League. The regular season finished on like Sunday, past there. Very exciting game. My team are in the playoff qualifiers. We'll get into the structure of hockey, but anyway, the next 2 weekends of hockey are incredibly exciting over here, and I decided I want to talk about the league a little bit more. The league is good things and it's bad things, and just a quick run through. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the Elite Ice Hockey League is the only pro league here in the UK. It is part of a bigger system, but it's the only pro league and it's the one that we're going to talk about today. So it was founded in 2003. I was 3 years old when that was founded. And there are currently 10 teams across all 4 nations, across Scotland, England, Northern Ireland and Wales. And I will pop up here all the teams because... And Dundee is my team, FYI, like my home town is Dundee, and I've had a season ticket for years, so if any of you guys want to cheer on a team, pick the Dundee Stars, and also give credits to me for getting you into them. So there's 54 games in an Elite League season. The Challenge Cup is played at the start of the season. Belfast won it this year, and Belfast also won the league title. And then finally there's playoffs right at the end. So as I said, this weekend is kind of the start of playoffs, and 8 out of 10 teams in the league qualify, so the top 8, and then it's just a 1 to 8 seed system, so top seed plays bottom seed, 2nd, 7th, etc, etc, okay? And then they play this weekend coming, and then after that it's playoff final weekend, so it's not like the NHL where there's like all these different rounds of playoff hockey. There's literally one weekend, and we're from the UK. It's a party weekend. It's a big party weekend. So playoff final weekend is the last weekend of April this year. It's usually earlier, but COVID kind of messed everything up. And it's basically a big hockey party. It's very fun. I've been before and I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to go again this year. And there's 4 playoff games. There's the 2 semi-finals on the Saturday, and then you get the 3rd place game where most of the players play kind of drunk and hungover because it's kind of pointless, and then you've got the final, which is the big one obviously. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes in terms of my team and whether they get down to Nottingham or not, which Nottingham is where playoff final weekend is held, FYI. So back to the Elite League structure. It follows the IIHF, the International Ice Hockey Foundation, unified rule book, but the rules are very similar to the NHL in terms of penalties, the trapezoid rule, things like that. It's pretty similar. However, there's no draft lottery over here, and the ice is bigger, and as every time I post on social media a picture in my rink, there are curling rings. Every time I post without fail, someone mentions the curling rings. I just wait to see how long it's going to take. Usually 2 seconds is the answer. And the hockey over here is quite community orientated, because hockey is a sport generally, a sport in general is kind of like that. I love sport, it brings people together, it's great. However, there's also, I see in, I'm kind of jealous of this, I see in the NHL like Montreal fans, Boston fans and Leafs fans all like side together. And well, that's true, because I have a lot of friends from different teams over here. It's segregated seating and stuff, right? Like it's pretty segregated because we have a football or soccer, sorry, kind of mentality over here, and segregated seating is something that we're so used to that it is implemented in hockey, so it is a little bit different, to be honest. And I do want to stress that pro over here is not the same as pro over in North America. We will get to the issues. Actually, let's jump over to the issues just now. I love the Elite Ice Hockey League, sorry, Premier Sports Elite Ice Hockey League, because we're full of sponsors over here. Yes, that thing that most NHL fans hate. Here, we don't get a choice. It's either you have sponsors and adverts everywhere or you are broke. Too much money comes in from it. So yes, the jerseys are covered in advertisements, the ices, even the team names, Kitmart, Dundee Stars, etc. etc. Okay, it is what it is, right? It's sometimes not the most aesthetically pleasing, and as someone who likes aesthetically pleasing stuff, it can be annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Doesn't take away from the sport. Sport's what matters. However, there are a lot of problems, as much as I love the Elite League, and this isn't me criticising it, it's just basically, if I could wave a magic wand, what would I change about Elite League ice hockey? So first of all, there's a lack of funding. In turn, there's then a lack of equality between the teams, so it's always the same kind of three top teams that finish. So Belfast and Sheffield are by a million miles the most successful teams, and Cardiff too in the UK. Meanwhile, the rest of us are kind of way down the pecking order, and having that lack of equality definitely affects the outcome sometimes, although it is still quite unpredictable over here. Like, it is unpredictable, and there's some amazing scorelines that happen that you could never have predicted, but there's definitely still a slight lack of equality between the teams, and there's always a gap between top 3 and 4 and the bottom 6 or so. Like, it always pans out like that, and it could be better, basically. Also an issue is the lack of commercialisation. So this has got better. Premier Sports now sponsor the league, Premier Sports now broadcast some of the games. But, big but, it is only some of the games. I mean, for example, there's 4 playoff games this weekend, all super important games, and they can only broadcast 2 because of the nature of how Premier Sports works. Not criticising Premier Sports here at all, like, I think it's amazing that they've started broadcasting this stuff, but equally so, the streams which you can buy, they're £15 a stream. People can't afford £15 a stream, and it means that there's a lack of access into watching the sport. And also, as much as hockey's kind of picking up in the media a little bit now, when I started going, which was only 2016, mind you, there was nothing about hockey. I still get excited when I see stuff about Dundee in the paper, or like in the newspaper or on the TV, because that wasn't a thing before. So it's definitely getting better, but in comparison to other sports, it is very much overlooked here, and it's a shame because it's a great sport. Then in turn, you've got the cost. So between the cost of actually playing hockey itself, it is very inaccessible, which in turn means there's less British players coming through the ranks, and most of our players are made up of imports. Most of them are either Canadian, American, or they come from somewhere else in Europe. The majority are Canadians. In fact, I'm going to pop up here, which tells you the nationalities. You will see they are predominantly Canadian, which, you know me, I love a Canadian. However, there is a lack of Brits that are able to come through the ranks because it is so expensive, and most of them have to go over to North America to reach the level to play in the Elite League over here. And yeah, the cost of actually playing the grassroots system is not great, and kids are not able to get into it over here and go through to play. So we end up with a predominantly import-based structure. And also the cost of people attending games is an issue. The prices keep going up and up and up. I've had a season ticket for years, and every year it gets more expensive, and eventually I'm just thinking, I don't know how, like, I'm going to afford this, to be honest. It's quite expensive to get into some games. Again, it depends on the team, depends on the team's revenue. Bigger teams such as Sheffield and Belfast are always going to have it easier than the Scottish teams simply because they have bigger fan bases. In turn, they're the ones that always come out on top of the league. It's like, it's a cycle, it's an entire cycle. And I'm not like blaming the league here. Again, as I said, this is just, if I had a magic wand and I could wave it and fix things, what would I fix? This is what I would fix. There's also a lack of rinks in the UK, and so the distance you have to travel to get to one is quite far, which again impacts on people trying to play, and again impacts on Brits trying to move up through the ranks into the elite league. And again, we have to rely more on imports, etc, etc. You get my point. We also have football over here. We have football, rugby, golf. All these sports are far bigger. They are far bigger, they are cheaper to watch, they are cheaper to play, they are more accessible, they're more covered by the media, everything like that. Hockey is just generally quite overlooked, and it's a shame. And finally, the last thing I would change is that the links between the leagues, like the top pro league and the kind of lower tiers, they don't always work very well. With the exception of a few teams here and there, they're not very connected in terms of where teams are moving, where players are moving from, and it could probably be done a lot better, and there's a lot of things that I would change about it, but it is what it is. So yeah, that is my quick oversight into the Elite Ice Hockey League, which is the pro league here in the UK. Make sure to comment below any questions that you have. I will answer every single question anyone asks. If you're from the UK and you've decided to watch this for some reason, then drop below what you think of our league and what you would change and what you love about it, because there's a lot that I love about it too. I don't want anyone to think I'm just sitting here complaining, because I'm very grateful to have hockey over here. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. As I said, comment down below your thoughts. And I'm going to go rush off to work now because this is a chaotic week for me. Final week of uni. Very like busy work schedule too, a lot of content to do. Busy, but I like what I do, so it's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna go get a Starbucks and go into work now. And also, can we just appreciate there's a goalie on my top. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here next week once I'm finished uni and I can actually make more videos. Anyway, now I'm just kind of, what's the word? Blethering, we would say over here. It's probably the word, but I don't feel like that's a very North American friendly word. Talking a load of nonsense. Okay. Anyway, right. Bye, guys.